Good morning, Dreamhouse Nation. James Lewis of TDH joining us today is the president of the NBA 2K League, Brendon Donohue. Brendon, thank you for joining us today.
James, thanks for having me.
Now, a lot of people already know what the NBA 2K League is, but for those couple fans that don't, tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. So the NBA 2K League is the professional esport of the game NBA 2K. To put it in perspective, there are 30 million people that download the game every year. We find the top 125 players in the world at the game. They get paid a salary, they get health benefits, and then in addition to that, we have $2.5 million in prize money that they vie for.
That is amazing. That is so great how you all take care of your players like that and really make them feel valued.
Yeah, obviously we are, we care for our players across all of our leagues, and it's amazing. I mean, in addition to those type of things, I mean, we've learned so much, through the NBA over 70 plus years. I mean, doing things like a rookie transition program, helping, train the players on how to deal with social media, how to create content, et cetera. So we do the best we can to prepare them to be successful.
That is awesome. So how did the whole thing get started back in about 2017?
Yes, a lot of it actually started with our NBA Board of Governors. And in their own arenas that they owned in their respective markets, they just started to see these esports events, League of Legends events, other ones filling their arenas. And the more and more questions came up during the Board of Governors meeting saying, hey, what's going on with esports? Are we on top of this? And frankly, we quickly leaned into the fact that esports is for real. It's a growing sector. And frankly, we had a very successful game that we should be looking to create our own esport. And that's essentially how it all began.
Oh, definitely. I mean, NBA 2K has been huge now for since the early 2000s, late 90s. I mean, it is just such a phenomenal game. It is clearly the best basketball game out there by far.
Yeah, we like to think so.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I was going to say you're going to get no argument from me on it. I'm a huge fan. You mentioned
Nice.
there were 30 million players. Unfortunately, I'm in the bottom 10%, but I'm working my way up to the middle of the pack is my goal one of these days.
I'm probably not much better than you are.
Hey, it's all good. So, how does the draft work?
Yeah, so it's interesting. We've been iterating the process every year. And so now we have numerous ways that players can show that they're one of the best players in the world. So one that actually is going on right now. So we have our Become a Pro series, which literally you turn the 2K game on, and you can go in. And the last week we had our 3v3 tryout going on, and then this week we had our 5v5 tryout going on. And so players can go in, they can play games against the other best players in the world, and then every day we have players kind of at the top of the leaderboard that qualify for our draft. At the start of the calendar year in 2023. So that's one way you can make it. But then in addition, our teams host local tournaments. This is a global league, and so we have a European Invitational. We have a Asia Pacific Invitational. We just had an Australian tryout as well. So there's numerous ways. If you're one of the best players in the world, we try to find you.
That is awesome. So it sounds like there's a lot of opportunities for players to show their skills.
Yeah, I mean, we try to do the best we can to find players, but frankly, like we've iterated our process almost every year. So we'll continue to refine it to get the best players in the world. That's the only goal we have.
So when does the season take place?
So the season, last season started in April and ended in August. And this season we're actually moving up a month. I mean, our goal is really to better align the season with when the game is at its peak. The 2K game being at its peak. So I mean, our goal is to get that closer even to the January time period in the future, kind of because that the game really is. The two big crescendo moments for the game are when it's released in September, and then and then Christmas time. For obvious reasons, a lot of people get the game for Christmas and during the holidays, and so we're trying to get closer to that date.
And then I understand there have been huge celebrations the last couple of years at the NBA All-Star Game.
So I mean, so the last we've had two NBA 2K League All-Star games. Our most recent one we hosted at the end of September in Los Angeles, which was a great success, and it's fun because it's the first time that the pros, the 2K League pros, are actually playing the new version of the game that was just released. So the
Cool.
2K23 game, we put the best players in the world, and fans get to see how the best players in the world are approaching the new game. And so, so we actually just we just hosted our most recent, our second All-Star game ever, presented by Google Pixel in LA just at the end of September.
Wow, that is awesome. Now, what is your role as the NBA 2K League president?
So, I mean, it changes every day, but essentially my role is, I lead a group of about 20 people that are working on all aspects of the league. So a lot of the things you would see in any traditional sports league, there's league operations, player operations. We're selling partnerships. We run our own broadcasts, host events, and then certainly just in terms of working with our teams. And I would say the other big thing for me personally is I'm trying to think about the next 3 to 5 years and what else we need to be doing, from a macro level perspective to continue to grow the league.
That is phenomenal. Now, you mentioned broadcasting, which you read my mind because that was my next question. Who are your current broadcasting partners?
So listen, we have many, both in North America and across the globe. Twitch is our primary broadcaster, which is a streaming platform. Is very, very strong in esports. Also YouTube, a few around the world like Loco, Sport One, and the other big one probably worth mentioning is this: for the first time ever, our most recent playoffs and finals were on NBA TV.
Yeah, that is the phenomenal thing. I mean, gosh, yeah, that when they're having you guys on the same channel as the NBA players, I mean, that really shows the commitment and shows that it is really appreciated and considered the same thing. Both are considered athletes.
Yeah, and I'd also say it shows what differentiates us as an esport, which is candidly like we're easy to watch. I mean, if you don't need to be an expert in 2K to watch and enjoy our league. I mean, all you have to do is love basketball. I mean, invariably, whenever we have people come to our studio and watch for the first time ever, 10 minutes into it, they're like, "Oh, this is like a real basketball game." And so, I mean, all you have to do is, I mean, it's this, it's our players have off the charts basketball IQ. I mean, they're playing the game like anybody would in a playground or in an arena. So it's actually a very easy game to pick up, and I think that makes us very accessible.
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to say it's more fan friendly as opposed to a lot of those other games out there that are shooters, or you have the people that are playing the games and they're swearing and all that stuff. This seems to be more like a family friendly, and you can enjoy it like a regular basketball game. I mean, heck, the graphics are so good. Shoot, I could probably show it to my mom and she not know it's a video game. She probably just think I'm watching basketball.
It's so funny you say that. My son has been playing. Sometimes he'll be playing NBA 2K, and my wife will be looking in from the kitchen, and she says like, "Are you watching an NBA game or are you playing?" It is hard to differentiate between the two. But yeah, you're absolutely right in terms of it goes back to the accessibility point. I mean, 2K is a game that's rated E for everyone, and so and that's fortunate where like when we're talking to our NBA partners or other potential sponsors, they love the fact that it is rated E for everyone, and they can proudly put their brand next to us.
I'm going to throw this idea because I want to get points on it, which I don't know what that means, but I know it's a good thing to have points. So I want to start the WNBA 2K League. I want to be the team owner of a WNBA 2K team. So I'm just throwing that out there because I know you have on the 2K, they have the WNBA players and they have the NBA players. So I'm just saying I want to be ahead of the curve. So when this thing blows up in a couple years from now, I can be like, hey, no, on the tape, I was the one who said the WNBA 2K League is going to be huge.
Well, it's on record. I mean, as I will say, my friend Kathy Engelberg, who's the commissioner of the WNBA, who's done a remarkable job, by the way. Listen, the only pushback I would have is that we don't think it's necessary, and because we've actually we've had several women in the NBA 2K league, and so there's definitely more work to do there. We want to make sure we make the game accessible to anyone, and we would love to see more women in the 2K league. But we actually we think that the best women in the world should be playing in the NBA 2K league.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying that the players, the ones who are playing the game, yeah, because women can play video games just as good as men can play video games. I'm saying the little avatars will be, because the gameplay on the 2K is a little different when you're playing the 2K versus the strategies are a little bit different between a WNBA game and a NBA game, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. They are very unique. They are very unique games, but duly noted. You're on record. We'll give you credit
Awesome.
for that one.
Sweet. I love that. And then the other great thing with you guys, I love how you all have, like you mentioned earlier, the 3 versus 3 and the 5 versus 5 option. Because once again, the play style in those two games, even though some people look at it and go, it's basketball, it's the same thing. No, 3-on-3 versus 5-on-5 is such a different game, which is why, heck, even the Olympics have embraced the 3-on-3 and the 5-on-5 option.
Yeah, you're right, and they are very different in a couple ways. I mean, listen, first off, our average 5v5 game goes about 45 minutes to 50 minutes.
Mhm.
Our average 3v3 game goes about 8 to 10 minutes. So it's in some cases it's more of a bite-sized kind of game for our fans to enjoy. But then in addition to that, 3v3, you put the best players in the world in a wide open court, and fun things are going to happen. Like, I mean, it all of a sudden makes our ball handlers almost impossible to stay in front of. And it also makes our great defenders in the game also at a significant premium as well. So, yeah, and the other thing, we've even seen this in the NBA with some of the things we've done with the Elam ending. I mean, all of our 3v3 games are played to 21. Got to win by 2, but you have a game-winning shot in every game. So that it just makes for a very fun play style.
That is awesome. Thank you for acknowledging our boy Nick. We've had him on the show. Great guy. Oh my gosh, when he came up with that ideal, that is such a great ideal. And it really does. It makes the ending of the game, you got to win by making a shot. You can't just win by running out the clock. It makes it so exciting and so intense.
Yeah, it's a way we all end games playing pickup. I mean, it's a fun way to end the game with a game-winning shot.
Oh, definitely. So I have to hear about your current champs. Who is the 3-on-3? Who's your 5-on-5? I want to say Milwaukee, but I'm probably wrong.
No, you're absolutely right. So I mean, and listen, for the first time ever, we go in. We're in this off season with two reigning champions. So so Bucks Gaming is our 5v5 champion, reigning, and then Pistons GT, they are our current 3v3 champion.
Excellent. And then I understand when it comes to history and tradition, I understand Washington has a pretty strong argument.
Yeah, so they were our only repeat champion. So they won the 2 years prior to this year. Wiz District Gaming, and they have the reigning MVP as well. And they have, I will say, what's interesting about Wiz District is they are a great example of showing how culture and discipline, analytics, all the things that make traditional sports and traditional NBA teams successful, it translates over to the 2K League. So our best teams that have success year over year, they have great culture, they have great coaching, they're smart about how they approach, they watch game film. They are preparing in the same way that traditional sports teams do to be successful.
That is awesome. I was going to say, it's just, I mean, been a great league you guys have been doing for the last 5 years, and it just seems to keep growing. Like, for example, you mentioned the Australian, there was an open or a tryouts there. I understand there's a team there.
Yeah, so we just launched, I think it'd be last month. We just launched our 25th franchise to the NBA 2K League, and that's NBL Oz Gaming. And for those, just the NBL is the biggest basketball league in Australia, in Oceania, and so we've been looking at Australia candidly, like the 2K game and the game of basketball is the fastest growing in Australia. Outside of North America, there's no place it's growing faster. We look at NBA Finals ratings or All-Star ratings, and consistently Australia is up 50%, up 100% in terms of just the number of viewers watching basketball and watching the NBA. So we knew for a while now we had to bring the 2K League to Australia, and we could not possibly ask for a better partner. I mean, the NBL is so excited to get started next season. And so they just held their a tryout with great Australian players, and they're identifying one player that will be the first team. I'm not first team, the first player on their roster, and then the rest of their team will be filled out through the expansion draft as well as the traditional draft.
That is phenomenal. You have truly taken the game and taken it global and can incorporate the other teams, because as much as I know the regular NBA wants to do that with live games and all that, just the logistics of going to Australia would be so tough. But with you guys, you're able to do that, and you're able to add all those other countries as well and just really bring in the fans from around the world. That is just so phenomenal.
Yeah, listen, I think it's the excitement of esports. Frankly, as technology gets better, which invariably it will, the ability to play games with people all around the world is only going to get easier.
Well, it has been a pleasure having the league president, having you on, Brendon. Before we let you go, where on social media, where on the web, where can our listeners find out more about 2K League?
Yeah, so any social media channel you can think of, we're there. And as far as our website, it's NBA2KLeague.com. But please follow the NBA 2K League. We have social channels on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, etc. So anywhere you think we'd be, we're going to be there.
That is great. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks very much, James.
Black Friday prices now available at Appliance Factory. Save up to 40 to 80% on thousands of in-stock appliances and mattresses. Largest inventory in Ohio, Appliance Factory gets exclusive factory buys from manufacturers at huge discounts, and they pass the savings on to you. Guaranteed to beat Lowe's and Home Depot's Black Friday sale prices. Save up to 40 to 80% on GE, Maytag, KitchenAid, Bosch, all the major brands. Mattress Kingdom inside Appliance Factory has inventory. They have all the best selections on Purple, DreamCloud, Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, unbeatable savings. Black Friday prices now at Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom. Good morning, Dreamhouse Nation. James Lewis of TDH joining us today is one of the basketball coaches from Miami of Ohio basketball, Rob Summers. Rob, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, no, I appreciate being on with you guys.
So why did you sign to coach with Miami of Ohio?
Just the vision that Coach Steele had for the program. Obviously being up at Cleveland State for the past 3 years, I saw a program turn around up there, and being an Ohio guy and just knowing Coach Steele and what he stands for, just as more as a coach, how open and how honest he is, not only with his staff but with the players as well, and how he went about, talking about recruiting and developing players. It was something that's aligned with, my goals and my morals, and just being alongside someone like himself, was just a no-brainer for me to come down here to Oxford and be part of his program.
Exactly. With you being Ohio local, and then with Coach Steele having his experiences in Ohio, it should be a great fit for you all to be able to recruit.
Oh, no, definitely. I know how great the state of Ohio has, the basketball reputation that we have, myself, being from the state, not saying that I'm one of the greats, we've had a lot of great ones come through, but it's a basketball rich, state. And obviously Coach Steele knows recruiting. He knows the state. He knows the area. And being from Columbus, I understand, the type of players that Miami needs to take this thing going in the right direction.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't sell yourself short. You did amazing things, Penn State, West Virginia, and going overseas and playing. Heck, if you were younger, I could see you starring in the TBT at this point.
I'm trying to get my legs back under me. Once I get my hip right and get this knee going, I think I might have a chance to join that veteran contingent.
Nice. I was going to say, even if you don't get the legs going, you can always join the Big Three, because that is for the senior crowd.
There you go. There you go. I'll be able to play the half-court basketball all day.
Heck yeah. What are the benefits of playing at historic Millette Hall?
Just a rich history that Millette has. People don't understand. We're the all-time winning program in MAC. We won more championships with more guys in the NBA. So to have a venue like this that has such a rich history, you've got the Ron Harpers and the Wally's Irby, and the Wayne Embrees, and the list goes on and on. Charlie Cole's coach here. It's just the history that's just, people that know the game understand it. But I think a lot of times we got to get, this young generation understand that there's been some great players that have came through this building, that have played in this building. The sellout crowds that we've had here, it can get loud, right? We got to get it back there. We got to get the fans back engaged. That comes with winning and putting the right product on the floor. But Millette's been, just a great place to play. I've spent some time here, taking a couple unofficial visits when I came out of high school and playing in team camps, and just, being able to see those retired jerseys up there and see all those championship banners hanging is something that's special to see every day.
Oh, definitely. I agree with you. There's a great history there. Unfortunately, though, it has been since 2007 since making the NCAA tournament. How do you plan on changing that?
It starts with recruiting. Recruiting is the bloodline of any good college program. So we got to get people and recruits back excited about Miami basketball. It's been down for some time, but I think we're doing a great job recruiting with our recruiting class for our 23, 24 is looking great. The guys that we have that we brought in, recently when we first got the job have been phenomenal for us. And just building that culture and getting those guys to understand that we're here to win. We're here to win championships. We're here to put a great product that, the students here in Oxford are excited to come and be a part of. So it starts with recruiting, and the development piece is something I think we can do, better than a lot of programs, just getting guys better. You have several guys on our staff that have played college ball at a collegiate level. And, myself being a big man, being 7 foot, you don't get too many 7 foot, post-development coaches out there, Coach Holmes, Coach Christian. These are guys that have played the game, have seen it at a high level. So getting these guys better day in, day out is just going to be something that's super important for us to get back to, the NCAA tournament.
What's your strategy for developing successful student athletes on and off the court?
Just having a positive outlook with these guys. I've been in their shoes, so I understand what they're going through day in and day out. I understand it's tough. These guys have classes. These guys have off-the-court issues. The girlfriend, the family, these are things that I understood as a player. So pouring that positive influence into them, showing them that I love them. I say this a lot of times. The only times you hear your coach tell you they love you is after you win a championship. You hear that day in, day out, that, I care for you, I love you, I want to see you do well. And those guys, they're doing the right thing off the court. On the court takes care of itself. So we make sure our guys are 100% bought in with all our core values with that.
That is awesome that you all really do care about your players and really go above and beyond to show your appreciation to them. So with being an Ohio native, with being a player, how does that transition into your recruiting? How does that help to assure the parents and the students that you can understand and have knowledge of how to prepare them?
Oxford is a great location. We're 45 minutes from Dayton, 50 minutes from Cincinnati. Indianapolis is down, an hour 15 away. So we can draw, a 2.5 circle around here and really recruit this area heavily. And giving those guys the experience of being in the college town, experiencing, 20,000 students, a great, beautiful campus. And having parents know their children will be safe. They'll be able to get out there to see them as well. So you're not going so far away that, you got to take a plane ride to go come watch them, but you're not down the street. Right? You're not able to, their parents can't just pop in on them at their dorm. So it's having that, being able to have their parents in the stands for games, have them come in for the weekends, for family weekends. It's such a family-oriented town that, parents are constantly here. Our hotels are always sold out just because having that simple feel of like, hey, this is a safe community. This is a place where you want to see your kids graduate from with such a high academic resume that we have here too as well. So I understand, the area. I understand Ohio. I understand how great the basketball is here. And we just got to get Miami's brand out there, letting people understand, like, we're going to recruit this area heavily. We don't have to go too far to get the right players here to help us win a championship.
You had a lot of change on the roster since last year, but you do have 2 players coming back. Tell us about those.
Makai Larry, obviously a kid who played a lot of minutes last year, had some great games for Miami, and I think he's been here for going on 5 years. So he's on pace to probably play in the most games, and set that record for a Miami alum. And he's been a kid who's been phenomenal for us since day one. Just a great kid, somebody who's, quick, athletic. He's a smaller guy, but he really can score the basketball. We're gonna rely heavily on him to put the ball in the hole. Somebody who's been voted a team captain, so the guys look up to him. He understands the MAC. He understands the level of intensity that he has to bring every day in practice, and he's been great. He's been great for us. And Kamari Williams is another guy who's a transfer from Boston College, but has been here for a couple of years. Just a long wing that just does a lot of different things. He's somebody that we're excited to get on the court for at this point, and I think he's going to help us win. He's a kid who comes from a great pedigree. Dad obviously Walt Williams is a phenomenal NBA player, and Kamari does a lot of things that I think he doesn't understand how good he can be. I think once he really clicks into him, like, man, I can be really, really special. The sky's the limit for that kid.
And then, of course, there's a familiar face for you from your previous team.
Oh, yeah, no, Anderson Rambo, he's been great. Obviously, when I came down here, I was talking to Coach Steele, and Anderson went to the portal and kind of reached out to him. He wanted to be somewhere where he knew he knew he was going to be taken care of. And, once I spoke with Coach Steele and I understood what he was looking for from a post player, I felt like I had the perfect guy, a guy who I knew I recruited up at Cleveland State, a guy who didn't play, a ton of minutes, in a backup role for us. But he was somebody who I knew that I'm down the roll up there. He was going to be somebody who's going to hold a huge role for us. So having him here has been good. He understands that I love him, I care for him. So, when I get on him, we've already built that, the equity up. I don't have to build any equity with it right now because I spent the entire recruiting process with them as well as an entire year just being in his ear, working him out. And so he understands that, I have his best interest at heart. Sometimes he doesn't want to hear what I have to say, but I think that he understands that it's all coming from a great place. So he was 100% on board with, coming down here to Oxford and trying to help us win the championship.
And then your other transfers are both got great track records of success. Both of them were named on the all-rookie or all-freshman teams their first year at their old schools. Tell us about bringing those guards in.
Julian Lewis from William Mary, a Michigan kid that has been, a great addition for our program. He's a guy who's kind of Swiss Army knife, I call him. He can, he can play the point guard. He can guard 1 through 4. He can shoot it. He can drive it. He can defend. Tough, hard-nosed kid who is somebody who fits, he fits Oxford. He fits our program. He fits kind of what we're trying to build here. So he's been great for us. He's been out for a little bit, but we're looking to get him back, get him back on the court here soon. And Morgan Stafford, Columbus native, a kid that I recruited, seems like a long time ago when I was at James Madison University, and then he went to Wofford and obviously got into the portal. But he's been, again, phenomenal. He was voted team captain. When you're voted team captain, it's a brand new, fresh face. He brings an edge to our program. He brings a knack to getting on the floor for loose balls. He does a lot of the dirty work, but he can also shoot it. He can drive it. He can defend at a high level. Somebody who understands, being a local guy, about an hour and a half from here, having his parents in the stands, having his friends, having his family come and watch him. He wants to see us do well. And I think that's been the biggest thing for a lot of these guys is they're so close to home that they're so invested in making sure this program reaches the heights that it needs to.
Exactly. You mentioned about recruits. I mean, heck, you've had a bunch of those this year. Tell us about some of your higher level ones.
Obviously, you got Mitchell Riley down to Covington Catholic, a freshman for us, big power forward center. They played, some good high level basketball in the AAU circuit in high school. So a kid who's, obviously with a lot of these freshmen, you're trying to understand how high level this game is at the Division I level. But he's been great, the guy that fits in with what we're trying to build here, as well as Billy Smith, a kid from a Buff out of Indiana. He's been, obviously started the other day for us, playing big time minutes from a freshman standpoint. But he does, again, we got a lot of guys that can kind of play multiple positions, and Billy's one of those guys. He won our black and gold jersey as far as one of the top practice players on our team past about 2 weeks ago. And he just, rebounds the ball at a high level, shoots a three at a high level, learned to guard the ball at a high level too as well. So we're excited to have him out there on the floor. And Ryan Mabry, a kid from La Lumiere, from Belmar, New Jersey, he just really can shoot it. I mean, I think he's one of the top shooters I've coached in a long, long time. So to see him, when he's open, it's going in. It's been a great feeling to have from him. A kid who's playing some big minutes for us right now. He's going to be leaning on heavily, over these next 4 years to kind of get this thing turned around. But it's been great to sign. And Jaquel Morris, a young center, A lot of times with the post position, it takes you a little bit more time to develop in the guard just because you kind of grown into your body, right? You're 6'9", but he's long, he's athletic, he's got a high motor, he's got another level to get to. So every day getting in here with him and pushing him, but he's going to get an opportunity to play this year, right? And a lot of times with these young guys, just having an opportunity to play, getting that game experience, and it's just going to help us for the future. And then Eli Yofan, for us, a freshman out of Pennsylvania, he's been playing great. He plays hard. I mean, the fans are going to love how hard this kid plays. Shoot the ball lefty, got a knack for getting to the rim, really knows how to pass it. But a guy who, again, I think he's one of those guys that will do the dirty work. He doesn't want the glitz and glam. He wants to get out there and really get his hands dirty.
I just want our listeners to know where to find out more information about you and the team on social media and the web.
Yeah, so if you head over to our website, if you head over to MiamiRedHawks.com, you can check out all of our Instagram, all of our posts. We're trying to get a heavy social media influence. Our Twitter is @MiamiOH_B-ball. Same thing for Instagram. So if you guys go over there, you'll be able to check a lot of our stuff out. We're constantly popping out information. I think in this day and age with social media, you got to have that, right? Whether you're seeing highlights from the game, highlights in practice, whether it's something funny that we're doing, around the office, we're trying to keep our fans as engaged as possible so they feel ingrained to our program because, again, we're trying to walk hand in hand alongside our student body and our fans through this whole season and couple them in year two as well.
Sounds great. Coach, it has been a pleasure having you on the show today.
Oh, no, I really appreciate it, everything you do as far as covering us and giving me an opportunity to share with you about our program, and go Redhawks.
Black Friday prices now available at Appliance Factory. Save up to 40 to 80% on thousands of in-stock appliances and mattresses. Largest inventory in Ohio, Appliance Factory gets exclusive factory buys from manufacturers at huge discounts, and they pass the savings on to you. Guaranteed to beat Lowe's and Home Depot's Black Friday sale prices. Save up to 40 to 80% on GE, Maytag, KitchenAid, Bosch, all the major brands. Mattress Kingdom inside Appliance Factory has inventory. They have all the best selections on Purple, Dream Cloud, Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, unbeatable savings. Black Friday prices now at Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom. Good morning, Dreamhouse Nation. It's James Lewis of TDH. Joining us today is the author, Steve Kirshner. His book is Together, the Amazing Story of the Carolina Basketball 2021-2022 season. Steve, thank you for joining us today.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
What inspired you to write the book?
Well, we had a very interesting basketball season last year. We didn't win the national championship. We have done the same two co-authors, Adam Lucas and Matt Bowers and me. We have done previous books when North Carolina won NCAA men's basketball championships. We did a book in 2005, 2009, and again in 2017. And we had to make the decision before the championship game was played against Kansas last year in New Orleans, whether we were going to publish the book or not. And we decided that regardless of the outcome of the game, win or lose, that there were enough compelling stories in the season, particularly late in the season, that our fan base in particular, and hopefully fans of just college basketball in general, would be interested in hearing those stories. And we had some great wins at the end of the year. It was Hubert Davis, one of our former players, the first black head coach in North Carolina basketball history. He was in his first season as the head coach, and we had kind of a sketchy start to the start of the year. We lost some games by big margins, but the team got better, and we really had some exciting wins in March. A couple over our arch rival Duke, which is 8 miles down the road from UNC. So we decided that we'd go for it, win or lose, and I think the fans that we've talked to that have read it, and it's got great photos in it as well as the storytelling, and I think it does have a compelling story.
Oh, definitely. I agree with you. It was a very exciting season. I mean, you don't have to win a national. I know with Carolina, you're so used to winning national titles that it seems like you have to win a national title to be relevant. But I really think it was a great story and really captivates the listener.
Well, that's a great point because we have gotten spoiled here. I don't know if it's not something we should ever take for granted, winning a national championship, regardless of the sport. We've been fortunate to win 6 NCAA tournament championships. but they've been playing the tournament since the late 30s. So obviously, many other schools have won those other championships. So you enjoy the ones that you do win. You cherish them, but you understand it's really hard to do. And each of the 6 that we've won, we could have lost a game or two along the way. There are always close games in those runs. And years that we didn't win the national championship, it's not a bad year. Sometimes we forget that. We're a little bit spoiled in that we've been to 21 Final Fours more than any other school in the country. And you forget sometimes when you get there, the other 3 teams in the Final Four, they've had great seasons too. And there have been teams that don't even get to the Final Four of those seasons that may have had great years that got upset or knocked out along the way. So anytime you get to that point in the year, there's been a lot of big games, a lot of big wins, a lot of close games. And there's always stories that resonate. And that's what we try and put in the book is people know the score. They know the outcome of the game. They know the outcome of the season. But we try and give them a little bit of what happened behind the scenes, tell us a little bit about the motivation of the players, the coaches for what happened that season or what happened in that particular game or even a play. And I think that's what we try and bring to the readers, particularly the UNC fans. They know our team pretty well, and it's kind of a challenge sometimes to tell them something that they didn't know. And that's really important where the players and the coaches come in when we get a chance to sit down with them after the season and talk to them in depth about what happened all year and what happened on a particular play. Why did you go in that direction? Or Coach Davis, why did you call that particular play at that moment in the Final Four game? And hopefully that's we want to be able to bring our readers some new stuff, some new information that they hadn't heard before.
Oh, definitely. It's always great to get those insights and to get the details that only a few know and to be able to share them with your fans. So why was Coach Davis the right man for the job?
He had never campaigned or wanted to be. It wasn't his career path to set out to be a head coach, even the head coach at North Carolina. Hubert Davis says frequently that the only thing he ever really dreamt of in basketball was, as a kid, he wanted to play at the University of North Carolina. His uncle, Walter Davis, was a great player at UNC in the 70s, went on to be a great player in the NBA. His jersey's retired by the Phoenix Suns. And when Hubert was about 10 years old in the mid-70s, he said, I want to play at UNC. And at first, Coach Dean Smith, our legendary Hall of Fame coach, didn't think Hubert would be good enough to play at UNC. But he gave him a chance, and he ended up being a 3-year starter and played 12 years in the NBA. And then he went and worked for ESPN for 7 years and was a very good analyst on ESPN. And then Coach Williams in 2012 called him and said, Hubert, I know you're not in the coaching world, but I want you to come back and be an assistant at your alma mater. And Hubert said, yes, absolutely. I'd like to do that. And he wasn't really planning on being a coach. And then he was on Roy Williams' staff for 9 years. And at the end of the 9th year, Coach Williams called him, told him, said, the season's, we're in mid-March, but I want to let you know that I'm going to retire at the end of the season. I'd like you to be the head coach. And Hubert never even thought about it. He said he went home, he talked to his wife, Leslie, and they decided, yes, that's something they wanted to do. And his passion, not just for the University of North Carolina, but for teaching the game, he doesn't need to coach. He views it as sort of mission work that he wants to pass on to the new generation of players, not just what the game of basketball has given him and has meant to him, but what the University of North Carolina meant to him, means to him. And so he looks at it as, yes, winning a national championship is great, but kind of the impact that he can have on these guys, whether it's 15, 17 guys, 18 to 22 years old, that's what his mission is, to kind of pass on both what UNC and the game of basketball mean to him.
Tell us about the other coaches on the staff.
Well, it's interesting that all of the players, or all the assistant coaches played at North Carolina. Jeff Lebo was a head coach for a long time at other schools. He was actually a senior captain, point guard on the team when Hubert Davis came to UNC as a freshman back in 1988-89. Jeff held 10 school records as a player when he finished, and people forget that he was really a great point guard for us. Sean May was a Final Four MVP in 2005 when Coach Williams won the first of his 3 national championships. Sean was a junior big man from Indiana and just had a fantastic NCAA tournament. Was the Final Four MVP. He played 4 years in the NBA, but he was hurt, so his playing career was curtailed after 4 years, and he got into coaching in the mid 2000s or 2010s. He joined Coach Williams' staff in an operations role, and when Coach Davis became the head coach, one of the first moves he made was to elevate Sean into an assistant coaching position. So he's now in his second year on the bench. And then our third coach, Brad Frederick, he played on Dean Smith's last team, and then Bill Guthridge's first team as the head coach at UNC, and was an assistant coach at Vanderbilt under Kevin Stallings for several years. He's been on Coach Williams' staff, was on Coach Williams' staff from 2012 on. So all three of our coaches played at UNC. Then there's a couple more guys on the staff in the basketball office, Jackie Manuel and Pat Sullivan, who are also in administrative roles. They also played at UNC. So Coach Davis said when he became the head coach in April of 2021, he said he wanted former players on the staff because they knew what it meant to be a Tar Heel. They knew what it meant from the fans' perspective, what it meant from an academic perspective, from being a player and playing under the pressure of being a Tar Heel and sort of carrying on that history and that legacy of being a Tar Heel. I don't think it's an absolute prerequisite that you have to play at North Carolina to be on the North Carolina staff, but I think it gives Coach Davis a comfort level that those guys know. They know the landscape. They know the university. They know the town. They know the history of the program. And they also have a burning desire to carry on that tradition and make sure that we maintain a high level of success because it is so personal to all of them.
Wow. Sounds like they have such a great, strong connection to the program, which is only going to lead to more success.
It does, because when they're talking to a prospect, and recruiting is the lifeblood of any college sport, and when they're talking to a prospect, there's a authenticity that they lived it. They lived it as players. They're living it as coaches, and they want they want everybody to be a future NBA All-Star Hall of Fame player, but they also want them to understand that when you come to UNC, it's more than just the basketball part. It's the academics part. It's about being part of a community. It's being part of a program that represents not just you and your family, but the university and the basketball program. And I think that when they have that authenticity, I think it really does carry over the message that they give to prospects. Sounds great. Steve, it has been a pleasure having you on the show. Before we let you go, where on social media, where on the web, where can we find out more about the book Together? You go to Amazon and any place that sells books. The book is available. It's called Together, and it's widely available right now.
That is awesome. Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom has products in stock and available to take home today. With 5 stores and almost 40 years in business, they are Ohio's appliance experts, and they help you to get the right product at the right price with a huge inventory. You can save 30 to 60% every day on everything from Bosch and Viking to LG, GE, and KitchenAid at unbeatable savings and in stock. Plus, Mattress Kingdom inside Appliance Factory has everything from Tempur-Pedic and Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and DreamCloud mattresses in stock. Stop by any one of Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom's 5 Ohio locations today, or visit online at appliancefactory.com.
Good morning, Dreamhouse Nation. James Lewis of This Dreamhouse, the show that is all about the house. Joining us today from Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom is Jesse Criswell. Jesse, thank you for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me on as always. We appreciate it.
So why do so many members of the Dreamhouse Nation shop at Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom?
Well, it's because we have the greatest people, the greatest deals, and availability of all the best products. We have the ability to give our customers what they need readily in stock, and we're able to give them at discounted rates on a lot of products that other people can't even get close to touching that price.
Is that why you have so many 5-star ratings?
A lot of it, yes. People are very happy with the deals they get, but they're also very happy with, working with very skilled and trained associates that are, dedicated to making sure that they get the order right and they follow through from the time of the sale all the way till the customer, actually receives their product.
Yeah, I understand a lot of other locations or places can't say that. They're more 1s and 2s and 3 stars.
Yeah, that's sure, because a lot of places, I like to refer to, they clerk things. A lot of times you work with somebody, they sell you something, and then you never hear from them again. We're here at Appliance Factory. Our guys are dedicated to make sure that not only you find the right products, but you also get them delivered and installed in a timely fashion, and we make sure that everybody is happy in the end.
Well, the Dreamhouse Nation, of course, already loves Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom, but for those that are new to the show and maybe haven't been to an Appliance Factory, where are they located?
Well, we're all over. We have locations in Indiana, both in Terre Haute and Evansville. We have many locations here in the Cincinnati area, one on Beachmont Avenue, one over on Field Journal near Mason, one up in Miamisburg. We also have one in Tri-County. We have our newest store down in Florence, Kentucky, and then we also have a location over in Columbus.
What are your typical hours of operation?
We're generally open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. during the week, Saturdays from 10 to 7, and then on Sundays we're open from 11 to 6.
Nice. And then, of course, a lot of people, have been backlashing against companies for opening too much either on Thanksgiving or Black Friday. What are your plans? What are the hours of operations for Black Friday?
As of right now, Black Friday, we're just going to run, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We are closed on Thanksgiving, and we're actually running Black Friday prices now. So you beat the crowd. You don't have to worry about standing in line or worried about availability. You can come in now, and we're honoring those prices at this moment.
Wow, that is awesome. I was going to say, so they can go ahead and take advantage of the savings while the products are still in stock, as opposed to waiting to the last minute, showing up on Black Friday and there being a long line or being a shortage on product, which usually doesn't happen at Appliance Factory, because let's be honest, you all have that warehouse in Tri-County that is full of appliances.
Oh, yeah. We have literally thousands of appliances in stock, both in our warehouse, and our locations also have items that are primed and ready to go. So you can, pop into any of our stores and walk out with an appliance that day.
That is awesome. That you bring a truck, you bring a van, you bring an SUV, and they'll just load it up for you.
Absolutely. Or, we do offer full service delivery and installation. And as opposed to a lot of the big box stores, we're usually only out a day or two. A lot of times we can get you next day delivery.
Oh, wow. That is phenomenal. Yeah, because I understand you all deliver on pretty much every day except for Sundays.
That is correct.
Excellent. And then your installs are what, Monday through Friday?
That is correct as well.
Oh, awesome. I've been doing my research, so I'm on top of things. I love talking about Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom.
Well, we love you talking about us.
So with the appliance part, what are some of the big specials? What are some of the things we need to know about? I mean, where are they going to get those crazy good deals?
I mean, as of right now on appliances, pretty much everything is on sale. We do have a lot of special internal, like instant rebates, where you can save money instantly on top of the sale prices. A lot of manufacturers are also running, great rebates where you can get some money back after the sale. But then we also have, our open box selection, things that either are uncrated or have, slight cosmetic defects that we have marked down to give our customers even more exceptional savings. And a lot of times you can bundle, you can double dip. You can bundle those out-of-box savings with our rebates and some of the manufacturers' rebates to even get greater savings.
Now, normally I want my family to listen to the show, but since I'm about to give away their Christmas presents, I hope they're not this time, because you all have those mini fridges. They were like $400 and they're down to $129. They're perfect for like an office. They're perfect for a dorm room. They're perfect for the bedroom, and oh my gosh, I got so many family members that's going to be the great gift for. And they're going to think I spent $400 on them when they're only $129 now.
That is correct. Yeah, we have a lot of different, crazy deals like that. A lot of people, think of appliances, as major kitchen appliances and laundry, but we still carry things, like mini fridges. When it's hot, we carry air conditioners. We have an array of, some countertop options for appliances too. So we really kind of touch, based on all versions of appliances, really.
Oh, definitely. That's the great thing. I was going to say, pretty much anything you can think of, it seems like you guys have it there. And one of the ones I was going to say, I mentioned I'm buying them, though, at the mini fridges. What I'm buying for myself, because, of course, I love buying Christmas presents. not just for other people, but for myself, that little ice nugget ice maker thing where it's got the little water tank. Oh my gosh, that seems so awesome. It's like having Sonic or Frisch's at your house.
Correct. Yes, it does make the nugget style ice with the GE Opal ice maker. They are huge and very popular with everybody.
Oh gosh, yeah. I can't imagine how popular my house is going to be for entertaining, because people are going to want to come over. They're like, no, let's go to his place. He has the good ice.
Absolutely, yes. That nice nugget ice. Everybody loves that.
Nice. And then, of course, one of the areas I think is just so awesome, because you have, 3 stores in one. You have, of course, the regular appliances, you have the out-of-box special buys, and then, of course, the mattresses. And I think that is one area that is just huge for you guys, because you all have those crazy new purple mattresses, which are just so darn comfortable. Tell us about them and some of your other brands that you carry.
Yeah, we carry all the new innovative brands. So Purple has been very huge for us. People do love that unique feel. And they have that grid system on the top that really, helps conform to your body. And we also carry Dream Cloud, Nectar, as far as, that, like I said, those new kind of innovative brands. We also carry your legacy brands too, that those household names that everybody remembers. We have Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic, and Sealy. And we've actually recently brought on Sherwood for those kind of budget mattresses, but you can buy those with confidence as well, because they are a Tempur-Sealy company as well. So we do carry, your budget mattresses all the way up to, your high-end luxury mattresses. So we got a little bit of everything for everybody.
Exactly. I understand those Sherwoods are very popular this time of year, because, you have that guest room and you're like, yeah, I want to upgrade it, but I don't want to go crazy with it, because I don't want people to want to move in. Because if I put a Tempur-Pedic in there, my mother-in-law will want to move in, but I want her to be comfortable while she's visiting us from out of town. So the Sherwoods are a sure bet.
Absolutely.
Excellent. And then, of course, if you're buying presents for other folks, like I said, I'm going to treat myself with a nugget ice, but I understand other people want to treat themselves with a nice mattress. And of course, with the mattresses, I understand on some of them, you save instantly on some of them. You can save on appliances or accessories on some of them. And some of them, you even get a free pillow. You get all 3. Or some of them, there's an option for a free adjustable base. So, there are just so many great deals that it's worth to stop on out to Appliance Factory and to experience it and to lay down on the mattresses and try them in person.
Absolutely. So we have all kinds of bundle deals. So if you come in, you can save, up to $300 on a mattress, off an appliance with a mattress purchase. And a lot of those can be double dipped. Like you said, instant savings on a lot of mattresses. Some things, you get a king for the price of a queen, or a queen for the price of a full. There's also deals where you said you get free pillows. We do have ones that have like free sheet sets, or just more instant savings. So, we have it go all the way around. Whatever you think, we got deals for you.
Definitely. Now, the one thing, though, I do want to point out, don't be like my sister, because my sister, I didn't know she played piano as a kid, but apparently she did, because when she comes in to the store and looks at the beds, she tries to play the piano on the beds, and that doesn't help you to find out what type of mattress you like. You got to lie down, try it out. I understand. One of your associates told me that you offer free 30-minute naps. So I would think it would be more beneficial to experience and to lay down on the mattresses.
Yeah, honestly, we're open, hours a day. If you want to pop in, try one out, we're not going to stop you. We have a great staff, great atmosphere, and, we enjoy the company. So, yeah, stop on in and try out a mattress, and we'll find what works for you.
That is awesome. And then, of course, with doing the Black Friday Appliance Factory, you're like right in between on this one, the Small Business Saturday, because you give the feel of a small business, because, your employees really care about the customers, and it's a one-stop solution with them. You can go to them directly. Like you said, with the big box stores, you can't go back to the person who sold it to you, because they've already moved on. So it's kind of got that interesting feel of, is it, Small Business Saturday or not?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, we're really proud of that fact. You hit it right on the head, James.
Exactly, because you got that feel, but then again, you have the buying power of such a major company. It's just the best of both worlds.
Yes, sir, it is.
And then, of course, Cyber Monday. I'm sure there'll be some cyber specials on there. But a lot of times I understand that your company is so good that you even honor those in store.
Absolutely.
That is phenomenal. So, I mean, shoot, there is just so much going on at Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom. The Black Friday pricing is already up, so you can go ahead and get ahead of the curve. They got the special hours on Black Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., so which is good. You got a little more time, but not anything crazy. It's not that back in the day, 24 hours or any of that nonsense stuff, because no one really needs to be shopping at 2 in the morning. They need to, be able to spend more time with their family, and that is so awesome that you're doing that for your employees.
Yes, sir. We are very proud.
So before we let you go, Jesse, where on social media, where on the web, where can we find out more about Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom?
So you can find us on Facebook. You can find us at appliancefactory.com, and you can also find us on Google, where, like you said, we are very proud of our ratings. We usually tout about a 4.7 star rating across Google, across all our stores. So check us out on Google, see what other people are saying. We're really proud, and we're not hard to find.
That is awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. It is always a pleasure having you on the show, Jesse.
Thank you once again, and you guys have a great day.
Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom has products in stock and available to take home today. With 5 stores and almost 40 years in business, they are Ohio's appliance experts, and they help you to get the right product at the right price with a huge inventory. You can save 30 to 60% every day on everything from Bosch and Viking to LG, GE, and KitchenAid at unbeatable savings and in stock. Plus, Mattress Kingdom inside Appliance Factory has everything from Tempur-Pedic and Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Dream Cloud mattresses in stock. Stop by any one of Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom's 5 Ohio locations today, or visit online at appliancefactory.com. That wraps it up for this week's show. Hope you can join us again next week for this Dream House. This has been James Lewis. Enjoy your weekend.